dropping. Lewis rears back, going down for the home run down the right side. There's hand catching and a bobble and a grab down the right side. Yes, it's a reception. Daniel Arias down the right side, inside UCLA territory. He actually had to reach out. Well, it's one of the great venues in college sports, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. There we saw a great catch by Daniel Arias, but the Buffaloes were up 20-10 at the half, end up falling 44-20 to UCLA. Coach Gary Barnett, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, welcome into the Buffalo Stampede. Well, what a tale of two halves that was, huh?
Well, you know, we're going to talk mostly about the first half, I hope, because that, you know, in that half, we did a lot of good things. Now, you know, I think we both knew that as that first half was unfolding and UCLA was shooting themselves in the foot time after time and helping us out, that this may not last, but because that's such a veteran football team and a talented football team that you sort of thought maybe they were falling apart and we were just going to be able to take advantage of it. But we made some great plays. We ran the ball well. We did a lot of good things in that first half. Right at the end of the first half, though, Mark, when they got possession of the ball, went down and scored, and we knew they were going to come out in the second half. In that drive, it looked like they knew what they had to do from that point on.
You could kind of feel it. It was 20-7. They got the ball back with inside a minute to go, went down, kicked a field goal, and 6 consecutive possessions then, starting with that field goal, and then 5 consecutive touchdowns in the second half. Defense just had no answers, and we're giving up big plays in that second half.
Second half, it started by throwing the ball over the middle on us deep, big crossing routes, and we had no coverage. And then they started running that read option at us into the short side of the unbalanced formation, and we had no answer, and it literally ate us up in the second half.
Yeah, you could see as that second half wore on, the defense was just gassed out there. And then offensively, whatever was going well in the first half, the Buffaloes, by the way, went over 100 yards rushing in that first half. Back Jarek Broussard for the second game in a row, went over 100 yards. But that dried up in the second half as well.
It did, and it was like it was a different team that came out in our uniforms than what we were playing in the first half. And you know, it's happened to us a couple times.
Yep.
But you know, I think we all hope that after the last 2 games that we played and the way we played them, that was the trend, not the old team that we played with the 6 games before that.
The Buffaloes fall 44-20 after the ball game. Here at the Rose Bowl, we heard from head coach Karl Dorrell.
Man, that was an unfortunate performance. We played a decent first half. You know, I thought offensively there were definitely some positive signs of we got some run game established. You know, we hit a few things in the passing game, but it was good to churn out some points and get some drives going. You know, we were handling their offense fairly well from our defensive standpoint in the first half. We knew that coming in at halftime. We tried to approach it as a 0-0 game and to come out with a blank slate to win the second half, and that's where we didn't get the job executed the way that we thought we would. Defensively, there was 3 consecutive scores on 3 drives. That was unfortunate for us at the start of the third quarter. And we just lost our rhythm, you know, from that point forward. It was really challenging to stop their offense, both from a pass perspective and in their run game, which was starting to churn out some yards. So we shot ourselves in the foot. It was really all of, in my opinion, our fault as a team. We didn't execute. We didn't have the right play calls. So it was one of those things where we could have been much better, and unfortunately, we didn't. It didn't end up that way.
Well, the former coach here at UCLA, Karl Dorrell, now the head coach of the Buffaloes. Of course, he's coached 5 years here. Also played for the Bruins back in the day, back in the mid-1980s, hearing from the Buffs head man afterward. Brendan Lewis, we saw some progress against Oregon and Oregon State. First half, played pretty well. Then he almost seemed like he took a couple of steps back in this game, didn't he?
Yeah, it did. Mark, you know, a couple of mistakes he made. A couple times he held the ball a long time, and sometimes he dropped wrong. But he seems to work best when the ball comes out now and the read is simple. And he's got enough stuff on the ball to get it there. But you tell him to throw the ball deep to Daniel Arias, he throws the ball deep, drops it in there perfectly. And he's just got to get it out quickly and to get confidence, I think, for as much as anything. But that seems to be when he's at his best.
You said in the postgame on the radio shows we're wrapping things up. Next week you got Washington coming in. Final home game of the regular season, senior day, with the Washington Huskies coming to town. Right now it's about getting another victory, having some successes, heading to the offseason, feeling good about yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, this team needs to go win a football game. You know, at this point in time, we don't care how many. They need to win another one to get some momentum going into the offseason. And, you know, the game against Washington, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
And it's going to require all we can do, as every game has been for us. But that's going to be one of those games.
Well, the Buffaloes and the Huskies next week. It's at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The Buffs and the Huskies, our coverage on the Colorado Football Network. It's underway at 11 a.m. for the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. We'll take a break here on the Buffalo Stampede television show. Former quarterback Bobby Pescimento, our sideline reporter, is going to join us next.